I'm Dawn Duvall, and I am a few minutes early, so come on in, get settled, and I will be with you in just a few minutes. I'm going to open the chat right now, and just give me a minute. Let me get that taken care of. Okay. Oops. We don't want to do that. Oh, took us off the system there. Me hitting buttons, you know how that goes. All right. Let me get over here so I can get on my computer. And just to let you know, I can't do the comments until I go live. So that's why I've got to do it now. So I come on a little bit early to get this done. All right, let's see where we are. Let me get into the thing. Let's hit the, I don't want to do that. Hold on. Trying to get to it to type is like a whole nother, it's like a game you play. All right, if you like these cards, I gotta put a comma. I would do these cards. All right, let me get over here. Come on, Bubba, get in there. Oops, don't know how to spell again. Let's see, W-O-U-L-D. Oh, great. Hang on. Can't tell what I'm doing here. This is what happens because you can't see your lettering. So I have to just kind of hunt and peck. Okay, that's enough of that mess. All right, we'll get that posted. Okie dokie, come on in. Let me know if you're out there, and I'll be with you in just a minute. It's 7:01. We are going to, okay. We are going to, let me make sure that I'm live and everything's looking fine. I need to get back into my Shall We Stamp page, and we are good to go. I'm going to check my lighting too to make sure. It looks like everything's fine, I hope. I hope. Okay, I think we're good to go. All right. Okie doke. So we've got two cards we're going to be doing this evening. I'm going to introduce myself in just a minute. We will start in, let me see. It's 7:01, so I'm going to start at 7:03. I'm not sure how long the first card will take, but I have two that I would like to show you. I am going to try to keep this to an hour, so if I run short, then we'll just do the one card, and I'll save the one for another day. So if you're out there and you'd like to comment, I am streaming to Shall We Stamp Facebook as well as my YouTube channel. And I've got a mint in my mouth, so give me just a minute so I can get rid of that. And then I'll start my introduction. And by the time I do all that, we'll be ready to get started. So anyways, we'll get started. Come on in, have a seat. Bring your cocktail. And we'll start here in just a minute. I'm crunching. Okay. I am Dawn Duvall. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin Up. I have been doing this for 14 and a half years. I live in Fort Myers, Florida. And somebody was asking me today, why do you do this? And I do it because I really enjoy sharing paper crafting with others. When I started, I didn't have a clue what paper crafting was. I didn't even know how to make cards. And here I am 14 years later doing online classes. I used to do in-person classes, but we moved 3 years ago. And I only do one class in person in our community, which has to be done through our Academy of Learning. So everything else is online. So that's where I will be and where I am. I am getting classes. My Facebook Lives and everything are being scheduled. I've got a lot of the content done, and so it's being pre-scheduled, except for the recordings, obviously. But all of that's almost done for the month. So, okay. Well, we're going to start. We craft because we're crazy. Yes, Karen, you're right. I need to remember that one. I think because somebody asked me today, I was on a conference call, and they said, well, why do you blah, blah, blah? And, I said, but I think I like that one. We do it because we're crazy. So anyways, well, we're going to get started because I do have some coloring to do. And I'm not sure, it may not take as long because, when you're preparing the cards, you're cutting everything. You got to stop and do this, and you got to stop and cut, and then you got to do this and that and everything else. So it may not take as long as I think, but hopefully we can get this done in an hour, and we'll do 2 cards. So I want to welcome everyone. If you are watching for the first time and you're on Facebook, make sure that you like and share my video. I greatly appreciate it. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe to my channel and click that bell that will notify you each time I upload a new video. And that way you'll always be informed. Okay, so I'm going to turn the camera down. We're going to get started. Yes, addictive and a lot cheaper than therapy. I don't know about that, but I guess it is. It's much, much more funner. So, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera down. Let's get started. Those that come in a little bit late will just have to come back and watch the beginning. So give me just a minute. I'm going to flip the camera, and I might have to do a little bit of adjustment. So bear with me. I'm looking upside down. There we go. I want to make sure I've got my lighting. I think that looks pretty good. Let me look on my camera real quick on my phone. Because hang on a second. Let me just check real quick. We begin in 15. All right, I got you. Okay, let's see. Gotta get to my page here. Here we go. Of course, it's probably about 15 or 20 seconds. We're going to work with the Charming Day bundle. Flowers and to me, and the paper was really, really pretty. And I really bought, I did now 8 hours, and we actually have let's see, 2, 4, 6 sentiments, which is 8 dies. So you have the outline dies here, which will cut these items here, and then you can also emboss this onto your cardstock and then color it however you want. And the same thing with these as well. So we're going to be cutting. This one's already been pre-cut, but it has not been colored. And then we're also going to use this frame from the Gallery of Blooms. And this, when you cut this out, you actually get 3. You get a large outside frame, you get an inside frame, and then you have this little piece right here that's cardstock. So you do, once you cut it, you've got 2 other pieces that you can use at a later time. So we're going to work on, we're going to use that frame for this set right now. Now, if you're on my newsletter, you would have received today, starting August 5th, Stampin Up is having a 15% sale or 15% off sale on all of our in colors, the new in colors. So anything that's paper driven, 2-tone paper, inks, whatever else comes in, ribbons, all that stuff, all of that is going to be 15% off. And if you're not on my newsletter, you may want to sign up. If you place a I think it's a $40 order through my online store, when that starts, then I'm going to send you a color wheel free of charge. And if you're not on my newsletter, there should be a link below the video. If not, just make a comment, put news, and then I'll send you the link so that you can get signed up. All right, so we're going to be working with the end colors. We're going to work with a Secret C, and then we're also working with the Cloud Cover. Now, the Cloud Cover is one of the inks that did not like the pad itself, so they kind of poo-pooed the pad. They didn't sell those to customers. They did sell those to the demonstrators. I chose not to buy one, but we have little ink spots. You can buy these and there's a set of 5 that you can purchase. They're very inexpensive. So I've just used this for my cloud cover if I need to use it, or I use my Stampin' Right marker. All right, so with that being said, let me show you the card that we're going to make. Let me move some of this out of the way. So here is the card. Now, I'm not too particular about how my ribbon went, but that's okay. So, whoops, let me get down here. So here's the card. Now, this is using Secret C, which I think I've told you guys this before. I absolutely love it. It's it looks like a black, but then it looks like a really dark blue with some other shades to it. So I've been using it for my black ink when I do my sentiments. I absolutely love it. And then we've got a piece of cloud cover right here, and I'll show that to you once we open up our kit. That's been pre-embossed, and then I used the 2 3/8 circle punch out of the Secret C cardstock as well as the frame. This is this is cloud cover paper that we that we colored. And you know what? I just realized, hang on, did I forget that piece? I think I did. Hold on. No, I didn't. Hang on. Yes, I did. Did I not? Hang on. Let me find my stuff in here. Oh, no, I've got it. I've got it. Okay, we're good. Okay, and then we're using the cloud cover ribbon. And it really is a pretty color. It's a shame that the ink pad, but you can get the refill, the ink refill, and you can buy, which I think I'm going to do on my next order. You can buy a clear blank stamp pad, which comes with white ink, and just don't use the white ink. But then you can use maybe a third of your ink to ink that up, and then you can use that for the cloud cover. Everyone says that seems to be working. I haven't tried it yet, but I will let you know once I do purchase that. Okay. All right. So this is the card we're going to make. So I'm going to set this right over here out of the side, and we're going to do a little bit of watercoloring. So let me put this here. This is to help keep the light from reflecting. Okay. So we're going to start with, let me pull out all my components here. All right. So we're going to start with a piece of 4 1/4 by 11 Secret C cardstock, and I did not score this, so I'm going to be good, and I'm going to score it. Let me move this out of the way. I don't think we need that right now. So I'm going to bring in the paper trimmer. You can find this in my online store. I'm going to bring this up to 5.5 inches, which is half of 11, and then I'm just going to give it a good score, which you'll score it 5.5 on this particular card base. Okay, and then we're going to fold it, and as you can see, it folds it really nice. Okay, so hang on a minute. Let me put this down here. I don't know if I'll need it again. I don't have a lot of room in here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and work with that. And we're going to give this a good crease. And then I have a piece of basic white, and we're going to lay that down here. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. I'm going to flip it over because it's got some smudges on it. So it's not going to be seen anyways, but we're not going to take any chances. Let's go ahead and glue this down to the front of the card. And then we'll do some coloring. So that's going to go here, and we're going to leave our border. This is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. So now you can go an eighth lower, but typically you do 1/4. So it gives you a little bit more of a border on each side. And then we're going to take our, I did the embossed with the inspiring, inspiring, it's the one that has the Japanese pottery. I just did that when you're not really going to see it, but I wanted to have this piece of paper on there, this piece of cardstock. And this is cut at, I want to say it's 2 inches. Hang on, yep, it's 2 inches by 4 1/4. Yeah, 4 1/4. Might as well leave that out. And we're going to put that, I'm putting it a little bit up towards the top, not quite in the center, because this is going to, you're not going to be able to see it quite as much. So I'm going to put it up a little bit higher. And again, the only part you're going to see, so I could have saved paper and just cut some edges off, but you know, why not? We'll just glue it down. All right, so that's going to go right here. I just love these colors. So if you like these in colors, don't buy anything yet. Wait until the sale goes in and you'll get 15% off. And if you spend $40 in my store, using me as your as you're shopping with me, the links are in my newsletter, then you'll get that free color wheel. And there's a video in my newsletter, if you haven't watched it yet, that shows the wheel. I'm going to trim this off because I did cut it a little bit long. I think I cut it at 4 1/4. It should have been. All right, so that's good. We're going to throw that in the trash can. All right, so that's that. All right, now we're going to just put this off to the side for just a minute. Now I'm going to come in. I've already cut out the frame, as you can see. And then I cut a piece of paper, basic white, that is 3 3/8 by 5 1/4. And we're going to cover this up, but we're going to stamp on it first. So that's going to get glued down after we stamp this, okay? So we're going to do some stamping right now, and then we're going to do some coloring, some watercoloring, okay? So let me get my ink pad out, because the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do this stamping, and then I'll come back and color everything. And let's put this off to the side because that's for our sentiment and the other part of our card. This, let me get my scrap paper here too, because we're going to be stamping off. Move this guy out of the way. Now, this one I don't need because that's for the next card. All right, so we're going to take this piece of basic white. I'm going to randomly stamp this flower on this piece of white. So it's going to be whatever we want it to be, right? So I'm just going to stamp off, and we're just going to come back and do it different ways. And then we're going to do a little bit of coloring with this. And I'm going to try to make it where I'm going to do it this way, because I want to try to get in and get where I might not have enough room. So I may just put some leaves right here. All right. So that's why we're going to stamp off. So we're just going to come in. Let me turn the, and that's too many leaves. We'll just leave a gap. I'm going to put that there. That way I can kind of gauge how I want to stamp this. And you do whatever works for whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. So I really don't want to have quite as much spacing there, but that's okay. I'm not going to worry about it. And I think this one, we're going to do a little bit off this way. And then I'm going to come back and do one. Let's see, let's do it sideways. Let's do it there. That'll take up a little bit of room. And then we're going to come down here and we'll turn this one this way. We just want to get some coloring. Now, most of this you're not going to see because it's going to be hidden underneath the card. So if you see here, let me get it. You see, you're only really going to see the top and part of the bottoms, right? So, and that's okay. We're good with that. And I think we're fine. That'll be fine. We'll just figure out how we're going to arrange everything. We might be able to cover some of that up, and if we don't, that's good. We're okay. All right, so let's clean that off because I got quite a bit of ink on it. All right, hang on a minute. Let me just do a little squeaking there on my chamois. All right, let's close this up so I'm not wearing it. Now I'm going to come in and I'm going to use my little ink spot that has my cloud cover ink. And I've got the re-inker, so I can add some more ink. And then I put some in the lid, if you can see that. And then I'm going to use my water painter and use that to pick up the ink. And we're going to color this. And then we're going to color the ones that I stamped on the cloud cover, which you can see right here. Okay. So this is one of the water. Unfortunately, they stopped selling the water painters. Don't ask me why. I found that out the last time I used this daggone thing. And I was like, why would they do that? But anyways, I don't make the decisions. So we're just going to come in, and I'm going to pick up some ink here because I didn't get as much on there that I want. And I'm going to make some a little bit darker. And again, I'm not squeezing because the water's automatically coming out. So I'm just going to do some, and I may come back and make it a little bit darker. Now, I did not use watercolor paper, so I'm just using regular basic white. And I'm just going to come in and do a few of these. We'll do, and then some I'm going to color a little bit down at the bottom and not do all the way up. And then I'm going to get a little bit more ink because I want it to be a little bit darker. And then these, I think I'm going to color in. And there's no right or wrong. You do whatever you feel like you want to, however you want to color it. Okay. No big deal. And then this we're going to color. So you can see how easy it is. Once you get the ink on the brush, and the water, it just takes it away. Now I'm going to add a little bit more because I want this inside to be dark. I want this one to be dark. So see how that works? All right. So we're going to come in, and I probably don't need to color all of these because they're going to be hidden, but we don't want to take any chances. So I'm going to put a little dark there and maybe do some of that one. And this one will just come right here. And let's see what else. Let's do the leaves. Let me get some more ink on here. And we're just going to color a few of the leaves and maybe not color all the flowers. We may just leave those as just clear as white or whatever you want to call it. So I'm just going to come in again and I'm color some of these full. And then some of them we'll leave half. And let me get a little bit more off of here. Put that in there. And again, we're just going to come down and color. And again, it's however you want to do that. I got a little bit dark there. So I'm going to put some in here just to darken those up. And let's do a little bit down here. Okay. So it's pretty easy to do, right? And let's do a little bit more. We might as well do the whole thing. I don't know what's going to show. So we're going to go ahead and darken these just because I want to. And then let's do a little bit here. I doubt these are going to show because that's probably where most of my stuff in the frame is going to go. But that's all right. And here I'm just going to do the stems. So how are we doing? But I love this color. I really do like this cloud cover. It's a shame that the ink pad didn't, whatever, it had a reaction, I guess, of something with the, excuse me, had a reaction, pardon me, with the ink with the ink pad, which is really a shame because it's really is a pretty color. But, again, you can get the inker and you can do what I'm doing. I'm just going to flip this around and then I'll just do I'm just going to do a couple of them. Let me see if I can soak that up. And we'll just do these here. I think these might show a little bit, not sure, but we'll color these in. And I'll go ahead and do a little bit of darkness here. And right now I have not squirted any water because it's slowly coming through. So it's kind of doing its own thing. And I guess we'll color this piece right here because that's kind of on the edge. And let's do this one. Why not? We'll color in the corner. It's part of the flower. Do that one too. No one's going to know the difference. All right. I think we're good. Oh, wait. Here's one here. Let me do this one. I'm going to try to get some darker ink on this so I think we'll be good. I'm going to do the one down here in the corner. The other one I left them white, but I kind of like the dark. So I'm going to do it like that. Okay. So that's all we're going to do on that front. Oops, I better leave this open. I still need to color. Sorry. Okay, now we're going to bring in the flowers. I stamped these in, did I stamp these in Memento Black? I think I stamped these in Memento, or did I don't remember if I stamped them in the, I might have stamped them. I think I did stamp them in the Secret Sea. Now we're just going to come in and just do a little bit more watercoloring. And I'm actually going to take my my re-inker, and I'm just going to put a little bit of drop in here, and then I'm going to add, I'm going to squeeze my painter so we can get some water in there. And I probably put a little bit too much ink, but that's okay. All right, so we got some water in there. Probably got more than I want. But that's okay. And wipe that off. Okay, so we're going to pick up some of the ink. And then we're going to come in and I'm going to color the insides. Yeah, I have too much water on here. Let me take some of that off. So I'm going to color the insides and then I'm going to do some of the leaves, but maybe not all of them. Kind of like what I did. I'm just going to kind of make them. I got too much water again. Hang on. I can't dip it in the water now. I put too much. Hold on a minute. See if we can get this to dry out some. There we go. All right, now I'm just going to tap it into the ink. All right, so we're just going to come in and do a little bit of coloring. And this is really pretty because it's on the cloud cover paper. So you'll see it really does give you a little bit more of a dramatic. So I'm just going to do that one like that. And then this one will come in. I am going to do the inside of the flowers. And I just want to kind of do a little bit on the inside because I just think it looks really pretty. And the rest of it, I'm going to leave it. And I'm not going to see how I didn't add any more. I'm going to add a little bit of for the dark center. And then I'm just going to swirl that ink around and just come out a little bit. I'm trying not to get too much water on here. So it's really wet. All right, so we're going to add a little bit more of ink. And then again, we're just going to come in and do some of these leaves. All right, we're not going to do all of them, but we'll do some. And let's see, let me get a little bit more ink on that one. And I think these, I'm going to go ahead and try to make that dark. And then I'm going to come back and then just do this one. I'm going to kind of color it in. And again, I want just a little dark on that vein. And then I'll come back and just color with the ink and try to, let me get a little bit more. It just kind of the paper absorbs the color. So to me, it looks nice. And we'll just do a few more around the edges. And let's do a little bit more. I like doing this. It's so easy too, because you don't really have to, really don't have to think about it a lot. Let's see. This one, I think I want to go a little bit further out. I think I want to do this one, this part of it, because I think that's going to stand out more. And you can see how the flower is bloomed and how it's open. And we'll put a little bit of color there. All right. Did we do these guys? I think we did just a little. Okay. I think that looks fine. What do y'all think? I think that looks pretty good, actually. All right. So let's go ahead. We're going to put this. Now we can put this away. And now that everything's all wet, I'm probably going to have ink all over me. So give me just a minute. I'm going to soak this up with my paper. Let me put my lid on here. Let me wipe this off. That's how you clean them. So if you have these water pencils and painters and you're not using them, you might want to pull them out. Give me a minute. I'm going to wipe this off so we don't get that ink all over. This is my vellum so that we keep it, but that's okay. Just to keep the light from reflecting. All right. So we have, we have this piece and then we have this piece here. So we're going to bring back into our card. And we're going to do two things. We are going to, hang on a minute. I'm looking for my dimensionals. I must have put them in here. Okay. We are going to use, we're going to glue down the flowers that I just did. This one, put this off to the side. Now we're going to add adhesive to the back of our frame. Now, if you look at the frame, and I know that you're not going to be able to see it, the top of the frame, you can see a little indentation and you're not going to see it. So you're just going to have to trust me. And each corner, there's a diagonal indentation like a picture frame. Okay. So I know I need to put the glue on the opposite side. So we're just going to glue this around and don't want to put too much. And then this is going to go over top of the piece that we just colored. And let me move. I'm telling you, when you work in a small space, it is crazy. I want to get my craft mat down. So that way, if we get glue on it, it's not going to get on my table and mess up my projects. All right. So we're going to lay that down. Now, which I got to decide, and it really doesn't matter. I guess we'll decide once we put this on here, which one do we want for the top and the bottom, right? So I'm going to lay that right about, I'm going to get the bottom lined up, and hopefully I've got it lined up. And we're going to push that down. I'm going to bring this down just a tad, and let me flip this over. And it looks pretty good. Let me just do a little shifting here. Compliments of the Tombow liquid glue. There we go. Perfect. All right, so that's going to go there. I think that looks nice, don't y'all? I think what I'm going to do, whoopsie, I got glue all over everything now. I think I'm going to leave this up here open, or do we want this one? I think I like this one because there's more flowers. See what I mean? Once you put the frame on it, you don't see some of the stuff, okay? All right, so this piece, we're just going to glue it down. We're not going to pop this one up, but we will pop up the flower. So this is going to go from top to bottom, right? So we're going to have a little, I'm sorry, that's going to leave you a little bit, like 1/8 of an inch all the way around. Might be slightly a little bit lower. So now I can go ahead and add the adhesive to the back of this. And, all right, so we'll put some glue on that. And then I'll shift it. So I know this one's probably going to go where the white is. And I'm going to try to line it up and get both sides even, which I think that looks pretty good right there. So we see how that's coming together. Look at that. Isn't that cute? I'll push it down a little bit so y'all can see. So far, so good. Got to get him a little straight. He's a little crooked up here. So hang on a minute. Let me see if I can slide this one down just a tad. It's a little off, but you know what? It's dark enough. I don't think you're going to notice that. Oh, yeah, I do. Hang on a minute. Let's see if we can lift this. If it's going to create a problem, I'm going to leave it because you know how what happens. Yeah, we're going to leave it the way it is. No one's going to notice because it's going to be covered up. Okay, we're going to pop these up on dimensionals. So let me get the dimensionals. Now I'm thinking, yeah, we'll do some white. I did bring some black ones in here, but I think we'll be okay using the white ones. They're not going to show. So this one I'm going to cover, and then I'm going to leave because this one, we have our circle. We can't do anything yet without our circle because this has to go down. So to see what I mean about covering everything up. Now you don't have to do the circle if you don't want to, but I think it adds a little something. So I'm going to lay that right there just for now. I'm going to try to gauge how I want this flower to go. Okay. So I'm thinking let me get my, I'm thinking I'm going to do it about like this, where it's going to come. Let's see, maybe we'll turn it like that. So that's in the corner, and then put this guy under, tuck him under. And then that way we can put our sentiment up here somewhere. I think I'll do that. So I need to make sure that I don't put any glue dots. I mean, any adhesive right here, because I want to be able to tuck that under. So let's go ahead and grab some dimensionals, my apologies. All right, so we know that. We want that one there. We do want one there. And let's see. Oh, I don't want it there, do I? I want it on the other side. What am I thinking? All right, because I wanted it to go like that, right? So this piece I want open. This one we need one. So let's put this one right here. Okay. Let's try that again. I think I'm going to glue it kind of in the center. So let's go ahead and glue that down. Again, this is the 2 3/8 circle, the circle punch. So I'm going to lay him flat, and I'm just going to put him right in the center. Okay. Now this one, I haven't peeled it off yet, but I think I want it to go like this. And then I want this to tuck under. So we're going to put dimensionals. Let's see, we want that to tuck under, so we don't want dimensionals on the leaf right there. So I think those two will be fine. Yeah, maybe, yeah, we'll get that in there. I think that'll be fine. Maybe we can put one little one. Hang on a minute. We'll put one we'll squeeze that guy right in right there. Okay. All right. Now, before we do anything else though, we're going to bring in our ribbon, because we want to try to loop this ribbon. I didn't do such a good job on the last one, but we're going to try it, see what happens. You know, only thing that can happen is it just doesn't look right. So, and you know me. All right, so I'm going to get my adhesive out. I probably should have brought the double-sided tape, but you can use double-sided tape. That would work. So I'm going to use the seal, and I'm going to try to loop this so the leaves lay on it. So I'm just going to loop it back like that. And probably, I might just do the 3. I could do 4. Yeah, we might do that. All right, let's see. What I probably should have done is glued it together. Let's see, do we have any glue dots? I don't think I have any in here. Thought I did. That's all right. We're going to use our seal, wherever there it is. Hang on. All right, so I'm going to put some seal. Actually, let's see if we can put it on the back of I think we can. Let's see if we can get it on the ribbon. That would make it a lot easier, wouldn't it? So let's put some ribbon. Let's put the adhesive on here if I can get it to work. Hang on a minute. Sometimes you got to get your finger on. Oh, there we go. That's going to work. Let's do it that way. That way we know that's going to work. It's going to stick. All right, so I'm going to place this. I'm going to start here by building the ribbon, and that might be a little bit too long, but we're going to go with this. Let's put it right there. And then we're going to bring this one back and fold it. He's got a little adhesive on the outside. I'm going to bring it like that. And then let me put just a little bit on this part. I don't think we need a lot of it because we're just going to flip it back over, right? And try to get it to adhere. And I told you guys, there's probably an easier way to do this. And you know me, I always have to make it look hard. And then we'll flip it back one more time. I think that'll be fine. We want our loops to be a little bit, and then I'll trim this off. So I think I'll do it like that. And we'll just let that one sit. So let me just put a little bit of adhesive on. Let's just do right about here. Okay. So we're going to roll it back down. And this is going to be under that flower. So there's no worries about that. It's going to be fine. All right. And then I'm going to trim this part off. So let me grab my scissors. Let's do that first before I stick everybody down. Okay. So we've got that. Now we can go ahead. Pardon me. Now we can go ahead and put down our flowers and see what our card looks like. Hang on a second. Let me get my trash can over here. It's all on the back side of the table. So how are we doing out there? Hey, Linda. Hi, Patty. Hello, Phyllis. Oh, I forgot to text you. I'm so glad you found me. I forgot to text you. Had other things on my brain. All right, so we're going to lay this. I'm going to lay this right about here. And I've already glued that piece down. So we're going to pop this up right here. And then I've got this other flower, this smaller flower, and this is the Charming Day bundle. If y'all have not seen this, and the next card, we're going to use the designer paper. So I'll show you all that. I haven't showed them yet. This one, we're going to tuck these flowers, and this is Cloud Cover. And then I use the Cloud Cover ink, and I used a little ink spot for those of you that just joined because I did not purchase the ink pad. And then this one, we're going to slide it right under here because I did leave some room. We're going to get that flower put right like that. All right. So what do you think about that? So far, I think so far so good. I am going to trim this back. I think it's taken away maybe. Let me just trim this back just a little bit. Okay. All right. So now we've got that done. Let me put my scissors over here out of the way. Now we're going to do our sentiment. And I was thinking of doing a birthday, but now that I think about it, this is not going to be big enough. Let me get another piece of paper. And I just so happen to have a scrap somewhere. Where is it? Hold on a minute. I know I have a piece. Let me stand up so I can find it. Bear with me. Oh, here it is. And we'll cut it down. But I wanted to do a birthday, so I think that might be too big. Well, let's see. Let's stamp it, and we'll see what it looks like, and then we'll make a decision. Again, I'm going to stamp it in the Secret C. Okay, and because you never have enough birthdays, right? So we're going to stamp that, and we'll just cut it down small, and I'll trim it off in just a minute. So we'll do, like that. Do you like that font? Isn't that pretty? I wish they would give us the names of the fonts too. Wouldn't that be nice? Okay, so let's get the paper trimmer, and I have to reach down on the floor. All right, let's trim this guy up or down or however. So let me get this on here, and then we're going to trim it. I could fussy cut it, but I think I'll leave it that way. All right, that's the scoring blade. All right, let me bring it down just a little bit more. Okay, so we're going to cut it because there's my track. So we're going to cut it there. And I'm going to turn it around because I think that's, oh, you know what? Oh, it goes up higher. That wasn't me. I'm thinking, did I do that? That's the stamp. The stamp stamps it that way. So we're going to have to cut this a little different because we don't want it to look like that we stamped it incorrectly. Because if you notice, see how the stamp goes in a curl? Can you see that? So there you go. I think that will be fine. Let's just trim this side down since we got the other side a little bit tighter. We'll just do it that way. All right, so let's do that and get him out of the way. And we'll go ahead and pop this. Let's see. We're going to put some embellishments on here as well. I really think we should trim that down a little bit more, but do y'all think that looks too big? I could go with the smaller one. See how I made the little smaller one here? This one might be too big, or unless I do it, I don't know. What do y'all think? Give me some comments quickly, and then we'll figure out how we want to do this. No. Oh, so should we do that? What do you all think? Should I pull it over here and maybe have that flower go in between? We could just put that right there and have it line up. Could bring it down just a little bit. What do y'all think? Birthday? Or I could cut it in half and we could do it. Let's do that. Let's cut it in half. That would be fun. Where's my scissors? Where are my scissors? Hang on. I think we'll cut it in. Whoopsie. No, I'm going to drop everything. Let's cut it in half. I think that will make a difference too. All right. So even though the birthday, let's cut it. We're just going to cut it down. All right. So then we can do it this way. We'll stagger it. What do you think about that? And I don't like this. This one's too big. So I'm going to hopefully not kill it. There we go. I think this is going to work much better. We'll put birthday here. And of course, can you tell I didn't cut it straight? All right. We'll do that. Let's put birthday right here. And let's put happy like right there. I'm going to trim him down just a tad as well. I don't know how people cut straight without using this. Yeah, I like that much better. That's what we're doing. And I'm just going to glue it. I'm not going to pop it up because these are already popped up. So let's just glue this flat. And then we're going to add a few what do you call them? Embellishments. So we're going to put the happy there. And then we'll put birthday right there. How's that? All right. We don't need much glue. Now let me spread that out and give the love to the other right there. Okay, there we go. Because I always need birthday cards. Okay, let's do that. And let's make this guy come off. Yeah, let's do it like this. How's that? What do you think? All right, and then we're going to add, these are the end colors, the 25. These are the flat pearls. And they actually have, it does have the cloud cover. So we're going to add that to this. So let's take a big one because we've got some space right here that we need to kind of do something with. So let's put a big one there. And how about a medium size? Let's do it like that. And then let's take a baby one and let's put one. What do you think? Where do we want to put him? Right here? Let's put him right here. How's that? All right, so there is that card. Let me clean up some of my stuff here. All right, so and then of course we'll put a piece of white on the inside, and you can stamp one of the small flowers like we did, so it kind of pulls it together. But there's the card, and again, this is cut 4 1/4 by 11, and then I used a piece of white on the bottom, 4 by 5 1/4. And then I did a 2" by 4 1/4 piece of cloud cover that I ran through an embossing folder. And then this piece of white, we just stamped it and then we watercolored with the water painter. And then this is stamped on the cloud cover and we colored that as well. So there is the card. What do you think about that? Isn't that gorgeous? I just think that is just really, really stunning. All right, so let's move these off to the side. And now what time is it? Oh, we've got lots of time. We've got lots of time. This next card you're going to love. And let me show you, let me get my stuff out first. Okay, bear with me 1 minute because I'm going to show you the paper real quick if you haven't seen it. Oh, I don't need that one. All right, hang on 1 minute. Give me just a second. Of course, I got glue all over everywhere, but that's all right. Give me a minute. I'm trying to get organized. You know how that goes. Move some of this stuff out of the way. Okay, we need that, and I don't know why I brought that in here. Let me show you the paper real quick. This paper is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, Charming Day paper. It is called Floral Charm 12 by 12 designer paper. Now look at the back sides. This is this sheet here is what we're going to work with, and the back side is pecan. Pretty peacock, sorry. And then this is navy, Night of Navy. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And I'll show you the card in just a minute. And then here's another one. I made 3 welcome cards. We do welcome baskets for the new neighbors that move in. So I use this to make the cards. And isn't this beautiful? It's all the in colors. Ticker Tiger. Well, that's not. That's Blackberry Bliss. And then there's looks like Garden Green. And then here are, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that paper. This is the pink Blackberry Bliss or Berry Burst. There's 2 sheets of that. And then we have some leaves. And you can cut these out. I think they may cut out. They may not because they're kind of close. And then here again is some more Timid Tiger, I think it is. And then another sheet of that. And look at those. Aren't those gorgeous? And then that's got a deep Blackberry Bliss. I just saw that. I didn't even see that when I opened up the packet. I would have used that one, but that's okay. But that's the paper. So you can find this in my online store. And remember, it's not in the catalog. So it's in the online exclusives. And let me show you the card. And this is a fun fold, and it's very easy. So you all are going to love this. Let me get all my stuff pulled out. Let me show you the card. Here is the card. Whoopsie. Let me make them noise. All right. Are we in the camera? Yep. And then it opens like, oh, let me cover that up. That's the welcome message I wrote. I'm going to cover that up so y'all don't see what I wrote. All right. So it opens like that. So really it's just using 3 strips of the paper. And then I use the dies from the Spotlight, you know, the ones that have the little fancy circles in them. Isn't this pretty? So I'll open it one more time. And then we're going to close it. And then that's how it looks. Isn't that gorgeous? And then I put welcome friend because we made some welcome baskets. And you know what? I made a boo-boo, but that's okay. I was using the happy birthday for this card, but that's okay. We have now 2 birthday cards. I was going to use that other stamp set. And I'm thinking, why is this one sitting here? Because it was in my box. Okay, we need to do some coloring. All right, so this is Pretty Peacock. I know. Can you believe it? All right, let me take my piece of paper back because that's what we're going to use. All right, and actually we're going to use this piece. And we have our circle, and we're doing an 8.5 by 5.5 piece of Pretty Peacock, and you're going to score this at 4 1/4. So we're going to go ahead and fold it. And then the top piece, I believe, let me make sure if I find my ruler, I think it's pretty sure it's 1.5 inches. Yeah, you're going to score it at 1.5. Okay, so that's the card again. Okay, we're going to set that off to the side. We'll put that right here so y'all can see it, how pretty it is. All right, and then we're going to fold this one back. And then we're going to take our bone folder and we're going to crease. All right, now you're going to cut 2 pieces of strips of the paper, and you're going to do the one for the front is going to be 1 1/4 by 5 1/4, and then this side and this side are going to be 1.5. So I am going to place this one here, and then this one's going to go back here. Now I don't know if these are going to line up or not. They probably won't, but let's see. We might be able to twist it. Yep, let's do it like that. So this is going to line up with that on the front of the card. And then this one would be by his little self. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue these guys down. See, I told you it's going to be a really easy card. We might run over just a few minutes only because I need to do some coloring, but it really won't take me that long to color. But isn't this some gorgeous paper? So just don't forget, you can find this in my online store. I'm going to turn this sideways just so I can eyeball trying to get it on here. And I've got some glue on the table so that way I can adjust it. And all right, so that's that piece there. This is going to be the insert for the inside. So I'm going to go ahead and add that now. We might as well do that. So let's get him in here. And hold on. Get my hands on everything. All right. So we're going to put that right here. This is 2.5, and I will confirm that in just a second, by 5 1/4. Yep, 2.5. And we're going to bring this down just a tad. There we go. Okay, so that's the inside. And then we're going to take our 1.5 piece. That's, I'm sorry, 1 1/4. So that's going to go here. And see how these pieces are going to line up? Isn't that something? Look at that. I would think I knew what I was doing. All right, so let's go ahead and glue this one down. Told you it'd be pretty easy. And then we'll do our coloring. This is really, I know we have a lot of flower stamps, but this paper, I just love this paper. So just think about all the things you can do. Here's a great way to make a bunch of cards. You could pre-cut all your paper strips, cut all your card bases, and then you could just go to town making cards, right? And then this guy, we're going to go ahead and put, I think we're going to do we want, let's do it that way. This way, I think it's going to show a little bit more, because these aren't going to matter, because it's not going to, well, let's see. I don't think this one's going to coordinate with this one. No, it's not. So I think I'm going to turn it this way, because I like having the flowers and the leaves at the top. And I think that will be fine. Okay, so we'll go ahead and glue this one down. Okay, actually, on here, it looks like the paper goes this way. But yeah, which is the way I was going to put it, right? Yep. All right, so we're going to lay that right over here. Just leave a little bit of a border on this side. So you're kind of saving paper in a way too, because you don't really need to cover that, right? All right, so there's the base of our card. Now we're going to come in and we're going to do some quick coloring. And I think I'll be fine coloring on, let me see if I got any glue on here. All right, let's go ahead, and I'm bringing in Calypso Coral, light and dark. I'm bringing in the Mossy Meadow, which is part of the colors, and Lost Lagoon. Okay, I'm going to color some of the leaves. You can see I did Lost Lagoon and Mossy Meadow, and then I did the flowers in Calypso Coral. So let's go ahead and get some coloring done. And then, oops, can't use that one. You know how you get these and then you use the big tips, and next thing you know, you can't use them anymore. All right, so one of these comes apart. So let's do some coloring. This is the dark. So I'm going to go ahead and color the inside. I'm going to just do this part right here. Come around and do all the way around this way. And then I'll come back and do the lighter on the outside. So this one we can just color right over everything. Okay, so we'll do that. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this one. Except for this one, I'm going to limit to this little piece right here and just make that dark. And then I'll come back with the light. Okay, so then we've done with that. We'll come in with our Calypso light. And then I'm going to just start coloring. Let me just do my linings around. And we're just going to trace the lines of the petals. And we can leave a little bit of white showing, which might look like it's some light shining through. And let's just get these. And then that way I know where I'm going with my coloring. And then we'll just do that. So we're just going to start coloring these in. And if you have the fat tip that's not been used, you can by all means use that fat tip, because you've got a lot of room here. But most of us, that thing gets used up quite a bit, doesn't it? And I'm just gonna color. If I leave a little bit of white spaces, I kind of like that, because it kind of makes it look like the light shining through. You know how you get flowers and even the leaves have some like little bits of openings there. So we're just going to come around and color all of this. I'm going to flip it to where I can get to it. Hang on a second. I'm going to turn it this way. I don't like that's too much. Don't want to color my leaves. All right, so we've got petals here. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I tried to choose the colors that would go with the paper. And I thought the Calypso Coral went well. It could be Timid Tiger, but I think Timid Tiger is a little bit, I don't think I liked it, to be honest with you. Not on the flower. I think it was too dark. I thought this looked a lot better. All right, so we got the flower done, right? Okay, so now let's come in and we'll do the Lost Lagoon. We'll start with those. And this is the dark. So I'm going to come in and do some highlights. So I'm going to do these 4 right here. And I'm going to do this one and this one. Now those will be Mossy Meadow. And then I'm going to do these 4 here in the Lost Lagoon and this little guy. Okay. So whoopsie, you see I got glue on my pad. All right. So now we're going to, isn't that paper wonderful, Karen? It is. I just love it. Now this is the, whoopsie. Yeah. No, we don't want to go there. I'm going to start with the Mossy Meadow. We want to get back to our Lost Lagoon. All right. So we're going to color these. This is the light Lost Lagoon. So I'm just going to come in and just kind of do a quick color around. It won't take long because they're not really big leaves, but we want to make sure we get them colored. And I always like to go around the outside and do my edging. I don't know how y'all do yours, but that's just, I don't know. That's how I do mine. Don't ask me why. I guess it's easier so that way I know I'm not going to cut into coloring into something else. I have a line to stick to, right? Okay, so we're going to do that. And then we'll come over here and do these. So this, I told you, this one won't take very long at all. And we'll be done here shortly. So just hang with me. Don't go anywhere. All right. So for those that just joined, if you're not on my newsletter, you might want to join. There is a link below the video. We are having a in color sale August 5th. And I think it runs for the whole month of August, if I'm not mistaken. And it's 15% off. So if you're looking to purchase any in colors, you might want to wait so you can take advantage of that. And then I also, if you're on my newsletter, today's newsletter showed a color wheel and it has a video from Stampin Up on how we can use different color schemes. And the color wheel helps you choose colors. And what I did was if you place a $40 order through my online store, during that special, then I will send you a color wheel and you can take advantage of a free color wheel. And it normally runs, I think it's $12.50. So you'll save $12.50 plus shipping and all that fun stuff. All right, so I just used my Mossy Meadow Dark for my leaves. And then I'm just going to come back in with the light. Make sure I got my light. Yep. And again, we're just going to color these leaves in right here, trying to keep them light. Again, I'm going around the edges and we'll be done. Let's just say like 8 minutes, not 10. I'm saying 8, probably take me 10, right? All right. So we're going to, cause we got to put this on here. So we'll just color this real pretty. Isn't this pretty? I just love this paper. It's just gorgeous. Now you're going to see a bunch of cards I'm going to be making using this paper. How could you not like this, right? The paper is just stunning. I tell you what, Stampin' Up has come, in the time I've been with them, the 14 and a half years, they have, I mean, their stuff has completely, the paper is stunning. The colors are stunning. I mean, I've been very impressed with that. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Whoever their artists are that they have got an eye for colors and know how to use them. Not like some of us, like me. I have to copy, but I did this on my own, sort of. Okay, so there's our coloring. All right, so that's done. Now what we're going to do is, I guess I'm making this a birthday cards because I didn't do it with the other one. And I think what I'm going to do, this is a scrap piece, but you're not going to see this little line through it. So I'm just letting you know that now. We're going to make this a birthday card as well. So let me bring back my birthday. And, you know, I should have brought, I guess the black here doesn't look too bad. What do y'all think? I think I'll go with the black. I'm going to use, do I want to use Memento Black? I can't decide if I want to do that or use the Secret C. I think I'm going to stick with Secret C. I like that. If it looks funny, then we'll just flip it over. I think it's going to look fine. I'm going to stamp the happy birthday at the top, and then we can build our flowers around it. So I'm going to stamp this right about here. Make sure I got my happy on there. And we're going to put it right about there. Now look at that. Isn't that pretty? Okay. So now we'll add our flower, and I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals. So let me bring those in. It looks like I'm going to have to cut some down. Here's 2. So we'll pop this up on dimensionals, and then we're going to pop this up on the flap on dimensionals as well. So let's just put, I've got some more back here somewhere. Hang on a minute. Hold up. Hang on. Well, you know what? Rather than struggle, let's just start cutting them apart. Always use your side pieces. It saves money. You use up your scraps. So we'll just put some of these around the flat edges. Put one right there. Let me just pull them off this way. Put one there. And we'll put one there. What do you think? Do we need another one? Oh, no, I think we're good. All right, so let's go ahead and add this. And we'll get this on there. And then we're going to add some dimensionals to the front of the card where it opens, where it folds, I should say. All right, see, we got all the paper off. Isn't this gorgeous? Look at that. See, I can cover that line right up. No one's going to know the difference. Look at that. I'll put that right there. Isn't that beautiful? God, I just love it. Okay, so now we're going to add some dimensionals. So again, let me cut some out. We're going to do 4. So let me just cut 4 of these guys. 3, 4. And I'm going to put 2 and 2. And I'm going to put this kind of in the center of the card, the flower, but the circle's so big. So anywhere we put this for the most part is going to work. And we'll cut 2 more pieces. We'll put these right about here. And then we've got this one we'll put right here. Okay, so we'll peel these off. Peel that one off. And then we're going to line it up so it centers between both sides is what we're going to do, okay? So let's get, there we go. And then we're going to just kind of hold that there until we see how we like it. I think that looks good. It's pretty even on each side. So I'm going to lay that down on the dimensionals. And there is our card. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. So easy to make, you guys. And you can do this with any of your designer paper. And a circle or a square or a heart or whatever you want to use. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, let's see. It's only 1 after 8. Yay! All right, let me bring the cards back in for those that just joined or came in a little bit late. Let's, all right, I'm going to put both the cards in here. Hang on a minute. Let me get them in here. Probably got too many. All right, so we did the this one here again, and then this one is our Secret C, and we used our cloud cover paper and Secret C for all of the other darker spots. Ooh, so let me get down here. Aren't these gorgeous? Okay. I know, isn't that fun food card good? Thanks, Karen. I know it is. I know. All right, so this is the cards. I hope you've enjoyed these. Thank you so much for joining me this Tuesday evening. Let's see. I think Friday is, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's Fundamental Friday. So that's Technique Day. So I should have saved this for the technique, shouldn't I? But we'll do a technique on Friday. That's at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So until then, you all have, what is today? Tuesday. So have a great week, and I will see you on Friday. Thank you again, everyone, for watching, and I greatly appreciate your support. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me. If you haven't joined my newsletter, please do. I send them out weekly. Hopefully, I provide you with some great inspiration. Free tutorials are in there as well. All right. Thanks again, everyone, and I will see you on Friday. Bye now. Thanks, Phyllis.